3, 2, 1.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another NFC East show, and we're here broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch as part of the Northeast Streaming Sports Network and the NFC East Network. What's up, guys? It's been a long time since the whole band's been back together.
Yes, sir. It's been a minute. I missed these Monday meetings, and I want to say that I know 4th of July was in there. I hope you guys had a good 4th. I also want to say that I know a little bit about salsa dancing.
So he wasn't just eating the salsa and dancing. He was salsa dancing.
Philly, whatever I eat is my business. Okay, and it's on my spare time, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
There you go. So I heard he was cutting some rugs.
Yes, or sombreros. Would it be sombreros?
One of the two.
One of the something like that.
One of the sounds good.
Right.
At least on paper. Yeah, at least on paper. So, anyways, guys, it's been it's been a couple of weeks since we've been back together. I tell you, last week we talked more about Washington than ever combined. I think if we combined every show that we've done, and we've done 68 of these.
Yeah.
Last week we spoke about Washington more.
Imagine that. How did it go, Pork Ryan?
It went good. I mean, I actually got some, time to talk. So,
he said, Sneaky loves to hear himself talk sometimes.
We can all. And of course, I got my mic going right into my headphones, so I hear myself regardless. Yes, I love it. Hey, but I mean, so now that you've reached your quarter,
he works on that sexy radio voice. That's what it is.
Oh, you have no idea, baby.
There you go.
Go ahead and just sit back and let's just talk about the New York Football Giants. Oh yeah, I know. So Pork Ryan, I take it you're done for the year, right? That's it. No more.
I'm good for a while.
Okay, here. All right. You reached your quota.
You met your quota for the year, huh?
Yeah, I'm good.
So I'm going to start off. I am going to start off with stuff that doesn't have to do with the NFC East, but I one of want to ask you guys' opinion about this. It has come out that Deshaun Watson is already going to sue the NFL because he feels that he's going to get 1 year suspension, and the NFLPA is about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the Texans settling the way that the Texans did, and him settling with 20 out of the 24, the NFL conduct policy that's in place. I mean, the NFLPA is the one who wrote it, to try and give him, the leeway. But I know he missed last year, and he's feeling that that's part of the, that should have some form of it, but it was dealing with the Houston Texans at the time.
Right.
So, I mean, seeing what Ezekiel Elliott got, 6-game suspension, I mean, for something that was proven false, that's something that's going to be.
Wait, are you talking about the when he punched that person or pushed that security guard or something?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, there's videotape on that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. And anyways, so the 6 games, I mean, you have to put it at a minimum of 6 games. If it's the whole year, it may be what it is, but you've got the NFLPA sitting there with them during this whole time, and I mean, there's no way around that he's going to get anything less than, in my eyes, less than 6.
I think he's probably going to get. I think that the NFL's probably they. I'll be honest. Since he's already come out and say, "Hey, we're going to sue you," I feel like the NFL is going to be like, "Well, are you going to sue us or not? Like, really?" And then then the NFL could kind of push the opposite way and be like, "Well, I mean, there is 30, so let's, should we do 1 game for every count?"
Oof.
You know what I mean? Or and then like, are you really trying to put it to the Browns? So, I mean, and there's a lot that goes to this. I think he gets suspended for 9 games.
Well, let's look at his point of view.
That'll be unprecedented, but it's going to be more than half the season.
So,
and I think that'll be what they compromise to.
So I think what his argument, now this first time I've heard of it, I haven't done any reading on it whatsoever, but I'm gonna look at it as his point of view. Yeah, he might have signed, or they may have settled, if you will. Of course, the details weren't disclosed, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have to admit any fault whatsoever when he signed that. And 2, there wasn't any criminal. What? I'm sorry?
He hasn't signed anything.
Well, no, I'm talking when he settled.
He didn't settle.
Well, he did settle 20 of the 24. 20 of the 25 allegations.
That's news to me.
Okay, yeah, because there's 4 still outstanding, and I'm pretty sure there's a non-disclosure.
There was 30 all told.
Yeah, well, I think all I know is that the 24 total, 20 of them he already settled. 4 are still outstanding, and out of those 20, he's not. There's no admit of fault or whatever you want to call it, and there was no criminal conviction, even though I think the CBA stated there doesn't have to be a criminal conviction to get punished. So I think that's the angle he's going at, saying, "Hey, I wasn't criminally charged, and I only signed this just so I could go play football." And I didn't admit any guilt or whatsoever. It's not going to look good no matter how it's going to be played out. Bottom line.
Well, that's why I think that he's going to wind up getting 9 games.
And
I know that the Texans did say, all right, all 30. They settled out of court for all 30 of those other Texans.
Yeah, and I do see some of Deshaun's, claim because of the whole Robert Kraft situation that took place in
I forgot to mention
lovely
that.
Florida.
Yeah,
so the way that the NFL, yes, the way the NFL approached that. I mean, it's not apples to apples, but
right, because Robert Kraft wasn't accused of doing something improper. He was
Right,
in the building when they raided.
Yes.
Well,
And
there's
that
also
was a very specific building that he
Yeah,
got raided, and he could have claimed whatever he wanted to claim. We would have all known the story, but you said, look, he could have claimed whatever.
yeah.
allegedly there's some video.
But what I'm saying is that the owner has to fall under the same guidelines as the players do.
Yeah.
And the slap on the hand that Mr. Kraft got is comparison to what Deshaun Watson might face. That's where he is going to have his lawsuit placed in my eyes, going forward. I just don't think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking there's no there with the lawsuit that he's going to be pushing forward, because it is a business and everything else that comes with it. So I'm with you. He might get
I want to
mad,
know
but
how his relationship with Cooper is going to wind up getting resolved, since Cooper said straight out, how do you follow a guy into battle who oils his booty hole?
Right. Right. Well, my thing is, you guys subscribe to
Cooper
Robert
really
Kraft's,
didn't say that, did he?
Yes, he
well,
did.
allegedly. But all I'm saying, if you guys subscribe to Robert Kraft's OnlyFans page, you will see the videos of the massage part. I'm not saying I did. I heard from a friend of mine, allegedly. I mean, it's only $6.99 a month. For 3 months, it's like $30. I mean, it's not that.
I'm good. I'm good.
Allegedly.
Where did you do your math? There must be the same score.
It's
That's like Giants math.
Hey, you know what?
$6.99 times
took
3
business
is
math
$30.
in high school.
That's close. 3 touchdowns, 30 points.
And I'm about to take intro to statistics here in like 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And that's when this beard will turn a different
color.
You better
study, buddy.
I'm not looking forward to it. But no, you were saying, okay, Trubly, you're saying it's not apples to apples, but it's not the same crime. However, I mean, it was a legal issue, and the NFL did handle that whole situation. I don't even remember Kraft getting in trouble whatsoever, and the charges were dropped on him.
Yeah, because of course the lawyers that he had. But
that was a funny enough joke I had to put up there. That was definitely funny enough.
Yeah. You know why they call.
So the whole situation
I'm going to use that
Kraft is one thing because of everything that faltered and the way that the prosecution was held and pushed forward. There was no civil lawsuits, but see, in the case of Deshaun Watson, the discovery that was put forth and the admittance of guilt of what he did to the women, and even apologizing to them for making them, whatever may have happened, I think it just falls in one of those, for whatever it may be. But the admittance right there, what the court saw and everything, if you would have read the documentation, there was some stuff that he did that, hasn't been reported. But if you go read it, then your eyes will be opened up a little bit more. I don't want to say anything public because I don't want to say what he did. But if you go in there and read the documentation, because once discovery comes out, you can look at both sides of the fence, and then, what he admitted to. And like I said, what he texted to the persons, not just one, persons.
Right.
It was showing remorse, I should say, when you read it. And you can read it, and it was remorseful. I believe he was trying to apologize. But regardless of the situation, what they're seeing from the NFL standpoint is going to be totally different from what the court of law sees.
Right.
And the NFL, I think, is, like I said, I think that they're going to make a stand here, especially when it comes to right now, right this very moment, there's a lot happening with women in general. And I think that they are going to start to make this stand as like a woman's movement thing rather than there. And he's going to be the poster child for that, like a little bit. So like maybe that 6 games wasn't enough. Now half of a season, more than half of a season. So 9 games.
And I'm believing that's why the arbitration is going in as long as it was. It was supposed to be released 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But I think the rumblings is, that what you're leading to, the 9 games to a whole season, is because what might have been said to his lawyer or his lawyer's team from the NFL standpoint. So that's why he's already trying to get out a PR campaign to say he's going to do what he's going to do to try and get ahead of it.
Right.
And even that's the thing too. If he does whatever he might do, it's still not going to help him in the long run get able to play until it's settled. So it's going to be from the get-go.
Right. So I think that you get what you pay for, and he paid for a lot there. So, I'm done talking about it. I just really wanted to bring it up right away so that we could, get it in and get it out. Kind of like him.
That's what he said.
All right, here we go.
So, training camp opens up next week, at least for two teams. Obviously, I think it's the Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars start camp next week. Getting ready for the Hall of Fame game, which is happening in like 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
So football is on the horizon coming up. And, since it's on the horizon here, I really wanted to ask again. I know that we did this about 2 months ago, but now you've got the feel for your teams here a second. And I just wanted you to all be able to just admit that the Eagles will win the NFC East this year and that your teams are just going to stink out loud.
That sounds like a bet.
I'll be willing to bet whatever you want to.
Okay. I got no. Let's do a hat. Let's do a hat. Let's do it.
I don't have a Philly sports guy hat.
Oh no, a Sneaky G hat. It looked really good on you. I mean, it'll bring out that mohawk even a little more. Yeah. So I'll be the first to report about the New York Football Giants, and I'm just gonna lead with the improvement of Daniel Jones, and also the anonymous coach of the NFC saying that Barkley does not know how to play running back as of yet. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Oh yeah. I didn't. Matter of fact, it was so bad. I didn't hear about it until it was last week, and a Dallas Cowboy fan that I work with actually brought this to my attention. So, I'm quickly on the Google and I'm reading this. First off, how much of a coward you need to be anonymous, to talk about another person. Just come out and say it. So I don't agree. One, I don't agree with the fact that he claimed that he's, first off, went anonymous. And two, his main argument was that Saquon always looks for the home run. He doesn't look for the 4-yard gain. And 4-yard gains in the NFL are huge. In my view, I don't blame him for always trying to look for the home run. And the reason, and this is my guesstimate, that he's looking for that home run is because of how we have not been doing, how we've not been successful since he's even been in the league. So
I'll tell you this: if it's going to be anonymous, it's a statement like that.
It came from New York Giants.
Probably not from anybody else except the New York Football Giants.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yep.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That's usually how that works. Is some reporter asks and they give it and they say you just got to put me anonymous. So it's probably more than likely said within the organization.
In the house, yep.
And that's what I mean. So I'm not going to say that's the case,
happening. It's already happening that the Giants are imploding.
No, it's not.
Daniel Jones is already considering becoming Danielle. It's
right. Right.
He's actually. I think Daniel Jones is not going to be very happy going into this season, and I think that it's going to cause a rift because is Glennon still on the roster?
Who?
No,
Glennon.
No, it's Tyrod Taylor.
No,
Tyrod Taylor. He will be the quarterback before it's all said and done.
I mean, you know what? I can't disagree with that, but I'm not going to fully endorse that. I will say this, Philly, I think you're wrong. 100%, because Daniel Jones has been looking impressive from what I'm reading, and he's making all the right decisions. He's following
from that
along.
same anonymous guy.
Probably. Well, the reports that I'm on. I mean,
anonymous guy.
You can't go off of one anonymous reporter and take it as such. Look, these players are busting their ass, and from what I'm reading. Matter of fact, I got a report talking about Daniel Robinson, the second round wide receiver we got from Kentucky. He's going to be special. Galladay is going to score touchdowns. Tony is going to score touchdowns. It's going to be a new look team with Daniel Jones. And you heard it here first. We're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys at home this year on Thanksgiving Day. Mark it, bookmark it. I said it, and I'm going to ride with it.
I think you said that last year too.
Well, I meant it this year.
I meant it this year, damn it.
Yeah, I okay.
From reading,
I am. You know what? And I'm going to be rooting for you to beat Dallas on Thanksgiving.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll be a little bit. I'll be like eating turkey and being like, man, I hope the Giants actually win or they both tie, because that's both like a loss. But
well, all we can do is read on what's going on with the guys right now. Here in 2 weeks, we'll be able to see what's actually, going on with the guys. So that's going to be the better part of the half. We're going to see how those first 4 days go, because there's really no contact, but we're going to see how in shape these guys are. Yeah. Once the first injury report comes out, we all know where the hamstrings fall. If you get that hamstring going, you're not in shape.
You're not in shape. You're right about that.
Yeah. What did you hear? What did I hear about Leonard Fournette? Actually, that he
260 pounds.
Yeah, he's a little porky. He's a little pork rind there, right there. You've been eating too many pork rinds.
No. That's because he has a Super Bowl ring on when he steps on the scale. That's why. That's why.
That might be a good point.
He probably needs to shut the lights off on the ring then.
Right.
They didn't put lights on that ring, right?
They didn't.
That was the Atlanta Braves.
Ring. But they did put the stadium in that ring. These rings are getting ridiculous. Getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of rings, I don't think St. Louis got oh my God. LA Rams have got their rings yet.
Well, they don't get them until the start of next year, anyways, right?
No, they normally get it in June or July. Yeah. They get it before the season starts.
Yeah.
The only people that got it late was KC. That's because of COVID.
Well,
they got theirs during training camp or something like that.
So I should be expecting mine next July, is what you're saying?
You winning a championship yourself? Because I know you ain't talking about Philly. What?
I know that we're going to be winning the NFC East, and you guys are all going to be looking up.
Yeah, no. Well, you know what? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I don't know. I think it's going to be a special season for the Giants this year. So
yeah. I think all four teams are going to be over 500.
Special is going to be the word. So special. That's what they call. That's what they call kids that are underdeveloped. Special.
Philly, do we really want to talk about special? Do we really? Because do we really got to talk about special?
He's tongue-tied. He doesn't even know. He's like, I can't even do this. This is a Roku. We can't do this.
I think I know where Sneaky's going with this.
Thank you. I just, I don't want to leave a bad taste in your mouth when I say it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's don't.
There it comes again. I tell you, I'm going to release that video. I will release that video. I tell you, it's
you know what, yeah.
It's going to be the one sneaky cup.
We will. All I heard was sneaky cup.
Yeah, the sneaky cup. One sneaky cup.
Oh, what? Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll leave it be at that.
Guys, don't Google that. Do not Google that.
So there was something that happened that's kind of football related, but not really. And I actually have something to say about it because I'm a little pissed off, and maybe you guys could tell me if you guys even watch this, because obviously, sports last night was, not there wasn't a lot because all baseball was done early, golf was done, whatever, what have you. Eagles receiver was going for the 110-meter hurdle championship.
Oh, DQ'd. That's right. I read that.
And got disqualified by 0.1 thousandth of a second.
Yep.
Because they say that audibly, when the gun goes off, that your reaction time is 0.1. And he had a reaction time of 0.099. And because of that 1,000th of a second,
he started early.
He was not able to compete for the championship. And I tell you, his average time, his normal time, was a half a second faster than the guy who won.
I didn't watch it, but I did read about it. And when you get to those types of games, it's all on the look and the sound. It's not like a snap count where the referees are on the sideline here and see and go. It's just one guy pulling the trigger and everybody else watching the screens, the TV screens. So I think it's a delayed reaction by all, just from reading it, which means that, they're relying on the computers instead of what actually happened on the field. So I think they need some more I don't know what you would say. The sports around track and field, they need to step up their game a little bit.
I agree. So I went a little deeper into this, and there was studies done on how quickly you would be able to hear something and react because of it. And they brought in 12 of some of the best who were able to react. They got it down to 0.06 of a reaction.
Yeah.
From an audible sound. And this wasn't a gunshot. They were actually putting like, things in their ears. So it was like a light reaction where they had no idea that somebody was going to hit the button when somebody was going to hit the button. And how quickly that reaction was able to occur. And they got it down to it was 0.068 was the fastest reaction time. But most of these, because these guys automatically have fast reaction times in general, they got these people for that reason. The average time was 0.085. Yet the governing body that runs track and field says 0.1. And he didn't get a chance to compete for the world championship yesterday because of this computer saying that nope, he wasn't 0.1, he was 0.099.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Well,
and
you go back and look at the film from back in Indianapolis during the combine. And that one kid who ran the 40-yard dash, who came in, I think they clocked him in as the fastest time at slower. It was a 4.23, I believe. 1.1 seconds slower, 0.01 seconds slower than Chris Johnson. But I went back and looked at the film and did the comparison from the actual time, and it looked like he ran that in 4.19 from the time that guy took off to the time he passed, the line.
And that's by the time that somebody's got to hit the button.
Exactly. So you're relaying.
Their reaction time is slower because somebody else is hitting the button.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's something again they need to work on. And same way in track and field, the technology's there. They just got to know how to use it. Stop relying on the human eye.
Yep.
Well, the human eye couldn't even tell.
No,
there was a false start.
Yeah. So I'm actually watching the clip right now, and even when they start, it looks like they're starting all at the same time.
Exactly.
Like
In fact, if you look at it really closely, number 4 moves first.
Yeah. And I'm watching because so he's like fixing the the little hurdle, and then he's walking back, don't even know what's going on, and then the guy walks up to him, explains to him that he's disqualified.
Yes.
He's like, "What are you talking about?"
And then they did a recount, and they said, yeah, it was .099, and .1 is the
sharks with laser beams.
Yeah, I'm with Rich.
I'm with Rich too.
Exactly. Those Broncos fans. There's lots of sharks over there, so they're always. And he's in Canada. He's a Canadian Bronco fan, so he's definitely up there doing his thing.
Yeah, they're. I mean, you look at the technology.
We got a lot of Canadian people on tonight. We got Chris. Chris, he's Canadian.
What's
Rich
up,
is Canadian. We got. We are international.
Yeah, the technology that's being used in the USFL for the first down, that's something that they need to use in the NFL on the goal line. I don't care what happens between goal line to goal line, but the situations that happen when you're trying to cross that goal line, that's where it comes in with all those, guys coming in on the front line, defensive line. There needs to be something done about those types of situations in the NFL, whether that ball crosses or not. It's just getting. I mean, you look at the MLB, how they're going to switch to the technology next year. I believe is it next year they're switching to the strike zone with technology.
I go back and forth with this. but I tell you, this year it's been, the good umpires call good games. The bad umpires just call bad games, and the problem is that you have to have all these umpires call some of these games, and it's just horrible. It's just horrible.
Oh yeah, see, but that's the thing is that you're using the technology that you have to be within the confine of the game. I'm not saying that you should take any officiating away from the umpire himself. I'm just saying that it needs to be used more in situations, because
I hear what you're saying, but if they're going to use the technology, and this is the first time I've heard of it, okay, if they're going to use the technology for call strikes and balls, it's just a matter of time where they're going to start calling outs.
Yeah,
it's a matter of time. It's like the cashier in grocery stores, and Walmart's. It's only going to be a matter of time. And I think for me, I'm not a big baseball fan. I'm trying to be. I mean, I am a Yankees fan, and I think what makes baseball unique is the fact that you have people, the umps, making the calls during the game. So, although, I mean, I understand why they're trying to do it, but then I believe that's taking part of the game away.
Well, see, I think they're wanting to take part of the game away because of the money that's involved in gambling.
Yeah.
I believe that's why that would make perfect sense. Now,
I firmly believe that they would still have 3 umpires out there. They just the balls and strikes. The balls and strikes would be more specific, to a very specific area, and that would be what balls and strikes call. Because ultimately, when you're still going to need an umpire to call it,
right?
Correct. Because they're going to be like, it's in the box, strike. It's in the box. It's not in the box, ball. You know what I mean? So
they're gonna have the system set up where one side of the other, the pant leg, is gonna vibrate apparently.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying is that I think we're getting
their right arm for a strike.
We're getting to the point where technology is so becoming heavily used, and it's because of the gambling systems that are put in place that don't want to rely on a person, the human error, to be the one to overthrow a game in its whole entirety, for 1 out or whatever it may be. And I mean, that's what I think it's monetizing the game in itself using the technology.
Well, God, I hope you're wrong. I mean, it makes sense, because I just like you, I don't want it to go that direction, because then that brings some validity of what I said earlier. Because now next they're going to have like sensors on the bases, on when
sensors in football,
and then sensors in the baseball for when, and then in the midst to make sure You know, the ball hit the mitt the time that the player slid in the second. And it's going to take that element away from, you know, from the game itself.
You look at it now, I mean, you're able to challenge just like in the NFL. You're supposed to challenge, you know, if you don't think something's right. And then if you get that human error wrong, then you lose the rest of your challenges, just like in the NFL. And that's what
they give you a couple. They give you a couple.
Two per half. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that one that you miss, you know, it could offset everything else.
It counts as a timeout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's going to impact the game. So it's going. That's why I'm saying the technology is going to be into the football sooner or later with the NFL, and it's probably going to be, you know, right there on the goal line stance. I think that's where it's needed the most, with all the to
make sure it crosses that line.
Yeah, to make sure it crosses and breaks the plane.
Well, since you brought up go ahead, Philly. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
So just to finish on this, because we're going to have to get to a commercial break really quickly. I think that they should kind of incorporate a little bit like what hockey has done with the chip in the puck. You know, they're going to have to go with a chip in the ball.
Yeah,
and you know, and
on
then,
the tip, yeah.
Well, it's just I don't know that it's going to be
clean that time. Pork Ryan, you're such a bad influence. Jesus.
Yeah, but I think it's going to have to be on the inside. It's going to have to be something's going to have to be done on the inside of the ball, so that each ball is going to be able to have that chip, because the chip's got to be embedded in there, and it's going to have like you could do it where the fiber of the ball is.
Yeah, it's RFID, and that's a situation like I'm saying, when you have that scrum there on the goal line, and you have the quarterback sneak, or you have the defense actually stopping the run. It's never verified properly, and you get so many different angles, and then you realize that somebody actually did break the plane and scored a touchdown, but it was still called, you know, because they couldn't get the correct angle of the ball. When all that situation can be handled right then and there with a chip in the ball, just for the goal line. I mean, you know, the way the ball's moved up and down the field, that's fine. It's that goal line stance that's going to come into play.
Well, no, hold on now. Let's look into the whole totality of it. If we're going to do that with the goal line, then, you know, if the game's on the line and that team needs a first down, they're going to need that, you know, coaches and maybe even owners are going to argue that, hey, maybe the last minute or whatever in the game, we need that chip activated to ensure we got that first down. You know, because there's going to be a lot of times where, you know, teams get the first down and refs get it wrong, and
the referee
it's a game of inches, you know.
And you put down a piece of paper when you're playing the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, right.
So listen, I mean, I hate to stop us here, but we do have to get to a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 1 minute, right after these quick commercial messages.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride Experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
See right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get it each.
And we are back. And just to let everybody know, I actually have a new show on the Northeast Streaming Sports Network, the Philly Sports Guy Show. You could see it 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on Roku and on the Northeast Streaming Sports YouTube. I do replay it a couple times during the day, but if you want to get in first and foremost, you got to show up at 9 o'clock. And if you really wake up early, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I do start it up with Keith Engel from TGI Sports We talk about all the sports that happened the previous night. So you can get up at 6, see me at 6, see me at 9, and then watch the rebroadcast if you want later on. So,
and since we're on topic, of course, tomorrow, Tuesday, Thursday nights, make it count, the Sneaky G podcast. You don't have to wake up early. I'm up late. So
Schwarber's out. I'm okay with that. I am okay with Schwarber being out. For all those Philly fans that are sitting there watching me, trust me, we didn't want him to be long-term in that home run derby. We want him to hit real home runs, not fake ones. So let Pujols win this. I don't care. I don't care what Pujols does. We're competing for a wild card, if not more. So I'm okay.
That's why I'm glad Judges didn't do it this year. So
yeah.
Well, is the home run derby similar to the slam dunk contest now? I mean, did it lose its luster, do you think?
I don't know.
No, I think it's actually gained.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, yes. I think it's actually gained, and the NFL needs to step up their game during the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl, yes.
I think they need to step it up in the same way that they did back in the late 80s, early 90s, the competition that they had.
Oh, the quarterback competition.
For the quarterbacks, just for the wide receivers.
But that wasn't done. That wasn't done for the Pro Bowl. That was actually done by like Wide World of Sports type stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
And they did that in the off season. They didn't
in
do
Hawaii.
That. Yeah. So my thought is that, and you guys can have an opinion on this. I feel that the NFL should go the way of hockey and break it up into 4 teams, play real flag football. They're trying to push flag football across the country right now and make it an Olympic sport. Why not do it? You could have fan interaction and have the fans actually pick the teams. You could have 4 fans from across the NFL come in and get to do a live draft of Pro Bowl players and pick a Pro Bowl team to play flag football. You'd be killing all those birds with the one stone. And imagine being the first guy, the first fan ever chosen to choose to do a draft for fantasy.
There's a very popular podcast called the NFC East Show. Those are 4 guys, 4 super fans that I think they should use. I nominate them.
Exactly.
I nominate them.
I think I like the what you're saying, but
Sneaky's going to choose Mike Glennon.
From a standpoint of an NFL owner.
I'll force him to be on your team.
From an NFL owner standpoint, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, well, I think it's more of a risk injury to, risk of injury. I think that's what it pertains to. The knees is what they're trying to protect. Right. And that's why you see what they do.
Didn't that one, like years ago, that Miami running back got hurt? Oh, no, he's a Patriots running back. He got hurt because they were playing flag football in the sand. And he had a knee injury that took him out the league for a couple of years, came back, promised.
And I think that's really what it comes down to is they don't want anybody ripping anything up in their body.
Yeah.
Well, I think right that's why. Then why even bother having the game? Then why? I tell you what, it would be more fun to watch everybody who got chosen for the for the Pro Bowl to all play Madden and play a Madden tournament against each other instead of playing a football game. That football game is ridiculous to watch. The last thing that ever happened important at a Pro Bowl was me announcing that that Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter accident. Yeah. I got to announce that to everybody who was sitting there waiting for the players to come out at the Pro Bowl. Yeah. Changed the whole Pro Bowl for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was a sour. Yeah,
but see, that's where I'm saying we need to get in the NFL. It needs to get to the sense of wide world of sports where they have the competitions amongst the specified, talents that they have for positions. Quarterbacks against quarterbacks and wide receivers doing a couple of drills, and make it fun for everybody to look at. Make it fun that not everybody's going to be able to complete, but have fun at it. I think that's the way you do it.
Well, I mean, they did something like that. They had when we were there, the last
in
one
Orlando.
We were there,
that was horrible, though.
Yeah, I mean, they had dodgeball.
Yeah, they had dodgeball, but it was senseless. It was pointless. There was nothing to it. And then the games that they had for the quarterbacks was not even that. The
throw
little
into this thing that's 50 yards away, and let's hope you can break the paper.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Have the golf carts out there running with the dummies. Hit the dummies while they're moving. All right, have the dot, have the green dot hit the red dot on the mark. I mean, that's what or the blue dot hit the red dot.
Yeah, that you know what, that quarterback challenge that brings back some great memories. I still remember when Dan Marino hit that perfect pass in the middle to win it. He needed to hit the bullseye to win it, and he did. I mean, it's
and that's
changed.
what I'm saying. The competition committees need to look at it from that standpoint of what can we do to make the game exciting and
safe for the players
and safe for the players, and at the same time they can involve in stuff like that. They can involve the fans. These are competitions, somebody that they can actually have fans competing in some of this stuff.
The Pro Bowl, though, is you have a whole off season. That's why I say I think that you could get away with flag football because that's what they're playing now.
Yeah, no, it's like it's touch football with pads. Which makes no sense, whatsoever.
And I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. Take the pads off, put on all the tape and all the stuff that you want. Make it for like $1 million, the winning team, and send them out there, play this. You know what I mean? Like I said, have fans come in and get involved too. Like,
the competition committee needs to look at it. It just, if you're the owner, you don't want any of your guys getting hurt for any reason. But again, that's why you go back and you read through some of the contracts. You can't ride a bicycle. You can't go on a motorcycle. You can't go out hunting. You can't do, you can't do certain activities. The biggest one I know is playing basketball.
I'll tell you what. When I had Jordan Mailata come to my event, we also had a couple of Phillies come. And it was like Mickey Morandini and Kevin Stocker, who were both on the 93 Phillies team that went through the World Series and lost. They were playing wiffle ball. We play wiffle ball at the bar, and we have it happen like a couple times a year. Happened that time. He was not allowed to swing the wiffle ball bat.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I believe it.
It's ridiculous to me.
It's ridiculous to us, but
if you tear a pec or anything like that,
yeah.
Yeah,
they rather that happens on the field than playing wiffle ball.
Swinging a wiffle ball bat.
I want to ask you guys a question. Since we're talking about football, and you, True Blue, you brought up USFL. I thoroughly enjoyed that championship game. I was actually rooting for Philly's team. I actually was rooting for the Philadelphia
Stars.
Thank you. To win, because I wanted Philly to get that championship taste in his mouth again, and I'm not being facetious. And I thought, I think next year I'll be more inclined to watch the USFL. I hope next year they do it to where they don't just play in Mobile, where they,
Well, they weren't in Mobile at all. They were in Birmingham.
Birmingham, Alabama,
So there is talk that they were going to incorporate 4 cities. Involved. And now the problem is in housing. They have to house these guys. So obviously the perfect situation for them is housing them in like Trenton, New Jersey, because at that point they're both like 45 minutes away from either stadium.
Right.
Being New Jersey, with MetLife, and being the link with Philly or Franklin Field if they choose to play in Franklin Field, which is probably more likely of the two. It'll just be cheaper to use Franklin Field. Now, I heard that Houston possibly or New Orleans along with Birmingham.
If they just use a big enough hub, city, Houston, New Orleans, Dallas, wherever they may be playing at, Jersey or not Jersey.
Even though there's a Houston team, I would think Dallas would be a bigger market.
Yeah, but it's not Houston. A Dallas team.
Oh yeah, you're right. There is no Dallas team. It's only Houston.
See, and now with the rise of the XFL, seeing The Rock this past
Next
weekend,
year,
XFL, yes.
XFL is going to be making their debut coming up here pretty soon, and I think they're putting a little bit more thought and process in exactly what Philly was talking about, the housing situation, the traveling situation, because that's the number one thing for these NFL teams that are at a point now where they're able to jump on a airline of some sort that's endorsed and used by the team.
I'm actually surprised that the NFL allowed that game to happen in Canton.
No, it's two different things. The NFL has nothing to do with the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
They have what?
Zero.
They have nothing to do.
Zero to
really? They're not. They're not connected.
Nope.
No, the only thing the NFL has that was supposedly the birth spot
of football
of the football, of the NFL. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The Pro Football Hall of Fame is for pro football players, so that's why the XFL and the USFL and the World
when Warren
League,
Moon got in the pro football, they combined his stats from his NFL and CFL. That makes sense now. Okay.
So and that's one of the things that.
Well, then kudos to the people at the NFL Hall of Fame too, because in my mind, being a fan, I was thinking they were together, and because they were together, that somehow the USFL and the NFL and the XFL are going to have some kind of partnering, with the bunch.
Well, so I mean, there was a lot of NFL players and scouts at that championship game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dallas Cowboys signed somebody from the Breakers.
Yep.
So there are some USFL players. I think the quarterback from the Stars, probably if he did not break his tibia, was likely going to get a tryout at an NFL squad because he was playing that well. And a championship game is still a championship game, and you got professional people out there. I mean, Scarborough was killing it out there. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I know he's old now, but I wouldn't be surprised that somebody brought him into camp as like a fourth option for a running back to see how he could go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because he played that well. He looked like a man against boys. 10 rushes for 135 yards. He did have the one for 70 yards, but they couldn't bring him down. They just could not bring him down. You weren't going to be able to arm tackle him. Now, is that going to happen every game? I can't guarantee that, but obviously it was worth another look for a pro team that may not be strong in the department of running back.
Yeah.
And I got to give a quick shout out to the Frisco Fighters. The last 2 weeks, I've been going to their games. And guys, if you guys have an indoor team, I highly recommend you guys go check it out because you're literally in the action. I mean, my experience have been amazing. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, that type of football is a lot of fun. The speed, the intensity.
Oh my God, yeah. And you could be up 30-7, and then within two plays, or 20 minutes, it'll be 42-35. I mean, it's just that fast.
Yeah, it makes it a lot of fun.
And they hit.
Well,
too,
like I said, somebody sent me something. I don't know if Chris is still on here because I could not pick up the link, but there was a huge fight, and I'm not sure if it was the teams, if it was the fans that were fighting at the Dallas. It was at the Dallas Indoor Football League. And it was a brawl, and Facebook wouldn't let me see it. So, but he sends me these links. Yeah, Chris is really good about letting me know what's going on in the world outside of Philadelphia. Because if I didn't have some of the stories that he'd send me, I would have no clue. Because I'm too busy spending on Philadelphia and not checking out the world.
It's same here. It's just as much work. That's why I'm just sitting there listening to podcasts and NFL Network all day, trying to soak in as much of the media that's going around.
So I mean, and I know that Stephen A. Smith is going to be talking about the
Well, he's been out.
Football tomorrow.
He's been out with the rotator cuff injury, or I think that's what it was.
Well, somebody will be talking about it tomorrow, I'm sure. They're going to be like, Kyle Schwarber came up in NFL news. It's like he didn't win the home run derby. Nobody cared.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I love it. I love it that these other shows are paying attention to us. Sometimes they need the content, and I'm just happy to be able to give it to them.
That's it. Yeah, it's the wind down is getting. We're sitting here today at the 18th. Like we said early in the show, next week 2 teams are going to start up, and then 10 days from now, everybody will be in there.
Yep.
So that's where it's going to start having fun, and then 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks from this Saturday will be the first preseason game.
Yep.
Just got to get through July,
which we will be at, will we not?
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll, and I could care less. It'll be interesting because I'll get to see, the Super Bowl winning coach that's running the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm going to have a sign that says "Sneaky loves you." Yeah.
Pork Rind, I need you to have another sign underneath that sign saying "lies, all lies."
I have the half ripped sign of Sneaky. It's signed. That's what I'm gonna do. I'd be like, "This man loves you, Doug."
Come look at that episode. Yeah, I'll show him some love. All right.
So, but anyways, yeah, I'm getting excited. It's time to start getting antsy. And I like I said, I've never been inside the Hall of Fame. I've been to the stadium now, so I know all about that. But I haven't been inside, so I'm interested to see exactly, what that hall looks like. And I'm sure you guys are going to be surprised at what it looks like because there was a ton of construction going on there. They're putting in a casino, a mall. It's like it was like a whole bunch of stuff that's happening over there. It looks like there was a high school. It looked like a high school that was attached to it.
Yeah, it's just the Hall of Fame, but then they have everything going there with that new stadium. They had both sides of the east and the west sides being rebuilt for more capacity and then more luxury as far as the fans getting to walk around. They have some enshrinements up and pretty cool little deal.
Nice.
Yeah, I will be missing out on this year's fun at the Hall of Fame, but I think next year we'll probably all go and kind of enjoy because I need to go. And I'll make it quick. 2 weeks ago, we went to the MetLife Stadium. It was a season ticket holder thing that they gave out that we could go see our seats and whatnot. It was a great experience. Is that a fake back? No, that's his real house.
That's his real house.
That's his MTV Cribs. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's play piano right after.
The Giants actually have their own Hall of Fame, the Legacy Lounge or Legacy Club. They had everything there.
There's my backyard.
Show them the bowling alley. I know you had a bowling on your house too. So that was a good, bucket list to check off. And now, of course, the Hall of Fame.
Yep. You got to sign off on that, and I will be up there week 3 when we play you guys Monday Night Football.
Oh hell yeah, I'll be there too. Let me know where you're staying at too when we get off air, and then. I'm gonna try and make it a double, meaning I'm gonna try and do a Yankees game, and then also go to the Giants game. So I'm going to the Giants game, but the Yankees game, that's
same here. Same here.
Oh, okay, good deal. We could double date.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my son up there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, it's this hour went by not as quick as it did last week when it was just talking about the Washington, the Washington Commandos, So this
Commodores.
one actually, the Commandos, the Commodores, the
Commodore 64.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, but the hour has gone through. And it's so much better when we don't have to talk about Washington because I was falling asleep last week.
He already made his quota. He's done for the year. You're done. You're done.
So you'll be able to see the rebroadcast of this show on Thursday on Roku. I like to broadcast it a couple of times on a couple of different platforms, so definitely check us out. Again, we look better on the big screen, so definitely download the Roku Northeast Streaming Sports app, and then you get to see exactly how much Sneaky loves to eat. So
I love to eat.
Oh man!
Look, what I eat again is my business.
I didn't tell you. I just said how much you like to eat. So, anyways,
although you eat more than I do, but you're not going to say that. He eats more than I do.
As always, everybody have a great week.
We have like 3 desserts. Woo! Let's go Giants.
Cowboy.
Go Birds.
Go Commanders.